Good morning. It's Monday morning and it's the beginning of the week. And for a lot of people, it's a pretty stressful time because there are several plans in place and a lot of people have enjoyed a great weekend. And now you have to begin with something different. So there is a minor shift in the lifestyle for a lot of people, including children, students, parents, housewives, and not always Monday mornings are very comfortable. Well, that's because change is very uncomfortable for a lot of people. We talk about change, we do get bored with the routine. We do get kind of stagnated if there is a routine and discipline in place. You do need at times a bit of shift adjustments. Even if we keep talking about progress, if you talk about success, if you talk about transformation, all this involves a lot of shift, and yet we're not ready for the shift. And I'll tell you why we're not ready for the shift. Only three reasons, or rather, mainly three reasons. The very first reason is the subconscious mind resistance. Your subconscious mind is programmed to treat anything which is familiar as pleasure and anything that is unfamiliar as pain. Now, even a difficult life is very familiar with you or to your subconscious mind, you will keep manifesting difficulties. If last moment stress is very familiar to you, you'll keep manifesting last moment stress. If messy house is very familiar to you, you will keep manifesting the mess. And even if obese body is very familiar to you, you will keep making sure that your body is the way it is because for the subconscious mind, it is a pleasure. Anything which is different, unknown, is pain. So you have to familiarize your subconscious mind if you want to bring about the shift and the transformation. And that's where the affirmation statements and guided imagery really helps very well. Secondly, the fear of unknown. When you want anything that is unknown to you, you literally feel scared. Anything that is known is very comfortable to you. And that's one of the reasons people do a great research while planning their holidays and taking up a new job and going to meet somebody. They do so much of research so that they're never caught unaware. And fear of unknown is so common that most people find it difficult to face the unknown, and they want to create familiarity, known. It again boils down to the first story that I said, the first reason I said. Okay, the subconscious mind reasons for familiarity. Okay, third is subconscious mind program. You have, with great difficulty, programmed your subconscious mind to be the way subconscious mind is being. All right. So how? So for example, you're doing cycling. So you've trained consciously how to pedal. So naturally, your right leg goes first, and then the left one, and then right and left. Even swimming, I remember a girl had come to me long back, and she said, "You know what? I've been trained in a wrong way for my swimming strokes, and my trainer is now helping me unlearn and relearn because my, strokes are." The way they are because I've been trained that way and that tires me out. My new trainer is teaching me how to do it differently. Now, a lot of things we have to unlearn and then relearn if you want to progress well in life. We have learned because of whatever reasons. It's no point blaming the reasons or people who taught us. The fact is that we learned that way. Okay. There's never a challenge that you cannot, but you have to systematically reprogram your subconscious mind now. So if you have a habit of coming home and removing your shoes and then your socks, and then entering the house, even if there is no need, you will not be able to do that because that habit is formed. So, on an average, we've observed that if you do something differently for 21 days, you form a habit. So, you need to keep doing it with conscious intervention and conscious awareness. Most of the habits are on autopilot, automation. So you do things. You get up in the morning, you don't even think that you have to go to the bathroom and you have to brush your teeth. You just go, and there's a habit. Toothbrush in the right hand, toothpaste in the left hand. It could be vice versa, of course. But there's a habit, you don't think twice. You don't even think how much of toothpaste you're putting and how do you brush. Is it your first upper teeth or lower teeth later, or on the right hand side first or the left hand side first? You do not know it. You just finish brushing your teeth. You have a habit of washing your face. You do it in a particular way. You don't even realize what you're doing. Everything is on automation, at least the basic routine. At times you finish your food without realizing what have you eaten. At times you walk for minutes together without realizing what did you do. And there are so many activities during the day. I would suggest start being aware of your activity every day and bring about minor shift. So, for example, if you have to brush your teeth, think about brushing your teeth with the left hand. If you're starting with the right side of teeth first, think about doing it with the left. And it's just one of the examples. If even in the food, you have a habit of eating first papad or eating first salad and then soup, or first soup and then salad, bring about a shift. Do something different every day, consciously, with conscious awareness, in a very harmless way. And when you do that, you open up to the changes. These are something that you'll have to take it up as your lifestyle. You have to make it a habit, not to be a slave to your own habits. And that's how you can learn to flow in life. When you embrace unfamiliarity, you become totally liberated, because it's a fear of unfamiliarity which binds you, keeps you in a kind of a loop which you find it very difficult to break free from. And begin with something very harmless, very simple, very mundane, and slowly you train yourself to embrace the unfamiliarity. Now, the exception remains for people who are constantly shifting and changing. For them, change is the familiarity, and they find constancy in routine very, very unfamiliar, and they're so much used to or so much addicted to change that they can't even see the house furniture in the same place for a long time. They'll keep shifting the color of the curtains and the arrangement of the furnitures, and whatever they can change, bedsheet to the decor, flowers. They need something different every day. They can't cook the same food, with the same recipe in the same way, time and again. Even a cup of tea they make is different every time. So it's for them. Learning to be constant is a change, and they have to train themselves to be okay even with that. And when you liberate yourself from the clutches of familiarity, whatever it is for you, you will experience a ray of joy, happiness, because whatever is the familiar stuff, you're doing it for the security sake, for the safety sake. However, the security and safety and the cocoon that you create eventually stagnates you and makes you unhappy. So figure out ways and means to bring about a change, a transformation, and a shift. And now you know how you could do it. Of course, you'll have to implement it and work towards it, but a minor work, and life would be very different. Have a great week ahead. Any question?